Hello students, how are you? I wish you are fine and doing well. I wish you are ready for the midterm exam this week. I'm sure you are. Okay, today we have a new lesson about relative clauses and defining relative clauses. Let's get started. Defining relative clauses. As the name suggests, defining relative clauses give essential information define or identify the person or thing we are talking about. Take, for example, the sentence, dogs that like cats are very unusual. In this sentence, we understand that there are many dogs in the world, but we are only talking about the ones that like cats. The defining relative clause gives us that information. If the defining relative clause were removed from the sentence will still be grammatically correct. But even if it's grammatically correct, but its meaning would have changed significantly. Okay? Defining relative clauses are composed of a relative pronoun. Sometimes it's omitted, a verb, and optional other elements such as the subject or object of the verb. Commas are not used to separate defining relative clauses from the rest of the sentence. Commas are used to separate non-defining relative clauses from the rest of the sentence. For examples, children who hate chocolate are uncommon. They live in a house whose roof is full of holes. An elephant is an animal that lives in hot countries. Let's go to a country where the sun always shines. The reason why I came here today is not important. Relative pronouns. The following relative pronouns are used in defining relative clauses. These relative pronouns appear at the start of the defining relative clause and refer to a noun that appears earlier in the sentence. So we have relative pronouns for subject, object, and possessive. If we are talking about subject and a person, we use who or that. If it's the subject and it's a thing, so we use which or that. Now for the object, if we are talking about a person, we use who, whom, or that. For thing, we use which or that. For place, we use where. For time, we use when. And for reason, we use why. Now, if we are talking about possessive, possessive means ownership, something for you, something you own. For person, we use whose, and for thing, we use whose as well. The pronouns who, whom, and which are often replaced by that in spoken English. Whom is very formal and is only used in written English. You can use who or that instead, or omit the pronoun completely. In the examples below, the common usage is given with the defining relative clause highlighted. The pronoun that would be used in more formal written English instead of that is given in parentheses. For example, the dish that I ordered was delicious. We can use that replace which. The man that came with her has already left. We can also say who. The doctor that I was hoping to see wasn't on duty. The relative pronoun can only be omitted when it's the object of the clause. When the relative pronoun is the subject of the clause, it can't be omitted. You can usually tell when a relative pronoun is the object of the clause because it's followed by another subject plus verb. See below in the first sentence, the relative pronoun can't be omitted because it's the subject of the relative clause. The woman spoke. In the second sentence, the pronoun can be omitted because the woman is the subject of the verb. Laughed. That is often used to introduce defining relative clauses when they follow the words like something, anything, everything, nothing, all, or a superlative. It may be omitted when it's not the subject of the clause. For example, there is something that you should know. It was the best film that I've ever seen. Do you have anything that will help my throat? Everything that you say seems silly to me. Nothing that anyone does can replace my lost bag. I'm sorry, but that is all that I saw. Okay? So I want you now to look at these sentences again and try to guess which one that can be omitted. Okay? That is for today. I hope you enjoy it. Stay safe and see you next time. Bye bye.